Fat man dancing. It's a fat man dancing. Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, people, boys and girls, Levi Clay here for the third consecutive night. My third live stream in a row. I will not be on for 3 hours, 2 hours tonight, don't worry. We'll only be on quickly. I just thought, I just watched Lucas Mann's new video, and obviously I am getting a lot of comments on my original video, and I thought it would just be easier to condense my thoughts into one post rather than having to respond to everyone, though I do have a copy-paste post that I am putting in comments to people that are saying, haha, Lucas debunked you. So, yeah, this is actually a really fun one. I'm going to talk a little bit of bollocks before we do it. Give a chance for people to actually come online and to see what it is I have to say. But this is really cool. This is super cool. I like David Yassie's comment. We don't deserve Lucas. Dude has a great heart and positive approach to this nonsense towards him, which is true, which is absolutely true. Lots of respect for that. Dave Beebe's online. How's it going, man? Here we fucking go. Here we fucking go. I'm even wearing my my Viper shirt, or as she's more commonly known now in the WWE, Piper Niven. Divided 123. His video is very long. It's 40 odd minutes. It is worth a watch. It's definitely very interesting. Worth a watch. Some interesting facts presented in there, and I'll have to sort of half change my opinion, or retract, or maybe even clarify some points, because there are definitely aspects about what I said in my video about him that I'm wrong about, but there are also definitely aspects that I'm now clearly right about. But you'll see what I say, you'll see what I mean when I get to that specific thing. So what's everybody up to? What's happening with everybody this evening? I am transcribing this evening. I'm transcribing some Ichika. I've just done a little bit so far for a client. I'm sure he won't mind me sharing a few bars with you. Let's bring that up so you can see that, just while we wait for some people to come online. Does this sound familiar to anyone? Should probably turn that off, shouldn't I? There we go. You don't want the bleed on the mic. Yeah, so we'll take that off. So that's what I need to get finished tonight. I will finish that piece for him, for my client this evening, which is fun. Let me just read through these comments, and then we'll get on with the show. I'll tell you exactly what I think. So, has anyone killed themselves trying to do the 48 triads yet? I'd kill myself doing the 48 triads. I obviously blitz through the major triads and the minor triads, but I didn't want to do a 48 triad row for two reasons. One, the video is already very long at that point, and two, I would be much slower than I used to be at doing the augmented and the diminished ones. And I can't remember what I said in the video, because as you can tell from my these live videos and my lesson videos and all of those type things, I'm a one take kind of guy. I speak from the heart. I say what I feel, and I'm relatively fluent in the language, so I can just sort of speak in my lesson videos. So I don't plan scripts or anything like that. So I may have said in the video, I may have not said in the video, but the augmented and the diminished ones, they are a lot of fun. Though of course in Western harmony they are lesser used sounds than the major and the minor triads, and especially for the music that I play, obviously a lot of country and jazz blues type stuff. The major and minor triads are super important, especially as you can superimpose major and minor triads to create other sounds, which is another video for another day. But yeah, I don't use the diminished and the augmented ones nearly as much, so I would have had to think a hell of a lot more. But back in the day, it was like that. I practiced that a lot. So anyway, let's keep going. What have we got here? John is online. Hey, dude. Haven't seen Lucas's video. Bet it was great. It was definitely very interesting. He does play some of the pieces. Hiya Titus. What did Lucas say? I'll speak up as much as I can. Fom1 Siana's taking a dump. Dex. Hey Levi. How's it going, Dex? Feeding the kid, feeding the baby. The man rendered out videos on an old slow MacBook. Oh, sorry, man, rendering out videos on a slow MacBook. Dude, rendering is just getting ridiculous. When I do a Guitar Souls video now, which is like a 2-hour video, and I have to render that, it takes my computer like 6 or 7 hours to render it. It's like, just unnecessary. So, yeah, so legs for a ghost, damn right, after I commented about this, we get a live stream. So who knows, maybe I'll respond to your comment with my copy-paste response. How did I get into the transcribing business? I did a video on that very subject just yesterday, Romeo. Do I think it's worth pursuing a career in? I mean, it's been great for me. Obviously, the more people that start transcribing, the harder it becomes because, you know, the market fills up with people looking to do the work. So it will become harder the more people do it, but I wouldn't necessarily say don't go into it. So, yep. You're in for a treat trying to tear this man down, you awful person, trying to tear down legit guitarists. That's really interesting. Can't wait to respond to that. Let's have a look. Man, I want to know what's true and not now without seeing all 50 minutes. I'm not sure what that means. Forgive me, Levi. What is your music education? There's a good question, Timothy. So I began study at the age of 11 or 12. Went through, it was much more classical when I was younger. I did GCSE music, and I went to college and I did A-levels in music and music technology. During those periods, my education on the instrument was primarily in classical guitar. At least my formal education was in classical guitar. I was outside of that privately, you know, working on electric guitar, playing rock guitar. Then I went to London to the Guitar Institute. Or University of East London, and I did a 3-year degree in popular music performance with a LSRL Level 6 licentiate in music teaching. So that's the formal education, and then throw on that the personal study and the people I've studied with, and you know, all of that stuff. So Michael Schultz Music, check out your comment on his post. Yeah. Have I listened to Andy James? Andy's a good friend of mine. I'm actually transcribing a bunch of his new tracks at the moment for him. Okay, Mark. How do I grow such a phenomenal beard? Laziness, man. Laziness. Upside Down is online. Curious about Lucas as well. Okay, so we've got 147 people on. I think that's probably enough for me to get straight into this. Though I'm just going to respond to Timothy. So you grew up playing viola in the orchestra and loved classical music. I did primarily what I did in group ensembles, being a guitar player, and there not being a place for that in the orchestra. I was primarily put in the school's swing band, and I did some musical stuff for that type of thing, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Because it's structured, you know, it's what you've been told that you have to play rather than the thing that you want to play. I didn't want to spend my evenings rehearsing with a swing band as part of, you know, to sort of fulfill credits for a course, if you like. Anyway, yeah, so let's respond. Let's talk about Lucas Mann. So his video is, oh shit, where's that gone? His video is super interesting, super interesting. And the first thing that I need to say is I need to, it's a sort of half retraction and a sort of half not retraction. So obviously what I had said in all of my videos is I talked about how Lucas Mann, this will be uploaded, yeah. I was talking about how Lucas Mann was miming in the video, in that particular video. And in the comments to that video, I obviously got a lot of attacks from people talking about, you know, oh, Lucas doesn't need to mime, and Lucas is a great guitar player. And at no point have I ever said that Lucas isn't a great guitar player. I think he's a very good guitar player, which is why that clip baffled me so much. Of course, you know, going back in the day, there's that classic solo album playthrough video, which is just full of like miming things that aren't guitar. So it was definitely something that we know he has resorted to in the past. But what Lucas's new video demonstrates is that he's absolutely not. Matt Taylor has hit the nail on the fucking head, right? So he's not miming in that video, okay? He's not miming in the video, and I guess for that I'm wrong. I'm wrong because I'm accusing him of miming in the video. But what he does clarify in the video is that you can't hear his guitar in that recording, okay? Because the way the band have their live sound thing is they have no onstage sound. There's no amps behind them producing sound. All of the sound comes from the PA speakers, the monitors, if you like, the PA monitors. So the only sound that you get on stage is the sound coming out of the band's personal reference monitors. It surprises me that he doesn't use in-ear monitors, but okay, fair enough. If that's how you do things, that's absolutely fine. So what he says, what he points out is that in the video, the person that has recorded the video is on the barrier, or actually not on the barrier, they're against the stage. So when they're filming with their phone, all they are picking up is, sound-wise, all they're picking up is the sound coming out of his monitor, which is the harmony track. It's the pre-recorded harmony track. Now, he calls it a pre-recorded harmony track, whereas the sound guy later calls it a sample line, which to me suggests it's more like a synthesizer part. It sounds more like a synthesizer to me than a recorded guitar part, and that was the point I made. So and Lucas absolutely proves this by showing lots of other footage from the concert, looking at, you can hear both him and the other guy playing. You can hear the harmony guitar in that, and you can also hear that the harmony guitar in that is much louder than the two live guitars. And you can also tell, if your ears hear in that level of detail, you can absolutely hear, when he's doing that the two live guitars are nowhere fucking near as precise as the harmony part, the pre-recorded track. Right, so here's my response to Lucas, based on watching his video, and I did watch the entire video. I've got time codes and stamps that I'm going to make reference to, okay? So at 7:17, he says, this is a quote, "It's a pre-recorded track." At 7:25, he says, "It's not my guitar that you're hearing in that video." Okay? And then at 7:58, 3 guitars are clearly heard, 2 of which are nothing close to the pre-recorded harmony, which is still louder than they are. Okay. Then we take a step back and we have to ask ourselves, why on earth would the official band page, the official Rings of Saturn page, use a clip to promote your tour and sell tickets that, in your own words, it's not my guitar that you're hearing in that video? Right? That's a great question, is it not? Why would you promote that? As, you've clearly got clips of you where you can hear all 3 guitars, but you don't want to post that as the thing that promotes your tour, because you know that you don't sound as good as your pre-recorded sampled harmony, right? Is this rocket science? I don't understand. I would never, ever use get a promotional video of me to showcase what my band is all about live and post it where you can't hear me. So when I say that he's miming, technically speaking, I'm not wrong, but technically speaking, I'm not right. Because when I say that you're miming in your video, what I'm really trying to say is what you're hearing is not what you're seeing. What we can see you doing is not what you're hearing. Now, my argument is that the video that Lucas has posted has absolutely been used with the intention of having you assume that the thing that you're hearing is his guitar. But again, in his own words, it's not my guitar that you're hearing in the video. So why post it? It doesn't make any sense. None of that makes sense. Anyway, I'll continue with my comment. So you'll notice that at 9:34, the sound guy talks about the sample line. So it is a sampled line, okay? And I go on to say, so when I make the claim that it's not Lucas playing in the video, as in the thing that you see is not the thing that you hear, I'm right. Am I not? I'm right. You've acknowledged that. It's not my guitar you hear in the video. And again, that was the video that you picked. You picked that video to promote the tour. At 11:34 in the video, the 2 guitars aren't pre-recorded. The 2 guitars that aren't pre-recorded. So at this point in the video, he's playing you soundboard recordings of various gigs of that section, and you can hear the harmony guitar and you can hear the 2 live guitars, right? The 2 guitars that you hear that aren't pre-recorded are a mess, okay? Now, I kind of want to clarify that point, because I say mess, not bad. They're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Lucas and the other guy in the band, they can play. They're great players. They are great players. At no point have I ever said that Lucas Mann can't play the guitar, but that live recording is a world away from the clip that he picked to represent his band in a live setting. This isn't just a fan video that somebody posted on YouTube that I have then gone and found and said, hey, look at this. This is the video that he picked to promote his tour and to sell tickets. So, next I say, look, I would love nothing more than to make a video looking at the clip at 41 minutes and 40 seconds, okay? At 41 minutes and 40 seconds, and through various points in the video, Lucas sat in his studio, plays some guitar parts slow, and then plays them fast, and provides DI tracks of the things, which is awesome. Bravo, Lucas, good on you. And more importantly, he's even better to provide those DI tracks for you to analyze, right? Now, of course, I could bring those up now and I could analyze them. But it would be pointless for me to do so, because I'd be comparing him playing. I'd be comparing his, playing in the studio, and I'd be comparing that to a video where all you can hear is a pre-recorded track. So of course it won't be close, Having said that, you shouldn't need me to slow those DI tracks down for you to hear that the timing, the dynamics, are nowhere near as consistent as in the clip that I talked about. So one last time, dude chooses to post a clip to promote his live show where he knows full well, again, at 7:25 in the video, he says, it's not my guitar that you're hearing in that video. He goes on to say that you can't hear his guitar in that video. Dude uses that clip to promote his live show where he knows you can't hear his guitar, and then is surprised when people like myself say, that's not a live guitar. Am I missing something? That's all I have to say. So, I'm going to read the comments because they come in thick and fast. And actually, no, before I read the comments, I want to say something more important, right? Because there's a bunch of people online watching now. I don't want for a second for anyone to think that my channel is about negativity. I do not want you to think that the goal of my channel is to create content where I tear down other people. That couldn't be further from the truth. That could not be further from the truth. I want to prove it a second, okay? So I'm just going to go to the actual, that Rage Time video. I want to bring it up. This is supposed to be the take home of this. And I should point out, I said this earlier in the stream, right? When I do videos like this, I don't script things, I don't pre-plan things. Lessons, live streams, nothing is planned. I just speak from the heart. So this is a moment captured where I just said what I was feeling, okay? And lots of people have picked up on this. And this is what this video is really all about.
Saying to one of your students, don't be off put by the fact that all of these guys sound so much better than you ever can. Don't be put off by the fact that you've been practicing for 5 hours a day, every day for the last 10 years, and you are nowhere near as good as they will ever be. It's not your fault. Go out there and be the best you can be. Go out there, compose music, do things that touch people. If you need to speed your videos up to show people what your musical vision is, I absolutely support that. Please, please think of the future generations. Try not to mislead them. Why not help them to do the things that you do by saying, hey guys, this is how I go about achieving these outrageous sounds. This is how I actually produced this video. That would be fascinating, and that would get a bigger pat on the back from me than anything that you can do where you're misrepresenting yourself. I think that's all I have to say on this subject.
I still think that that's a really good summary of how I feel about the entire situation. Because it's not about one person. Everything I do on this channel is about the community as a whole, okay? I do Guitar Souls podcast videos, and, I enjoy doing those, but, today I put up a video lesson, it's a 20-minute video lesson, and the sole purpose of that is to help you guys, right? I just want to help people. That's all I've ever wanted to do. So I think that's all I have to say on the Lucas Mann thing. I am going to read your comments now. I'm going to respond to your comments. But I just want to say one last time that, again, technically speaking, I'm both wrong about Lucas's video and I'm right about it. Because Lucas doesn't mime live. He does not mime live. But in the video that he used to promote his band's live concerts, he specifically chose a video where you couldn't hear what he actually sounds like live. And to me, that's very telling. To me, when I talk about in this video, misrepresentation, to me, that is a prime representation of misrepresentation. Having said that, again, I don't harbour any ill will towards Lucas Mann. I genuinely don't. Okay, like I said, I watched his video. He made some great points. I liked his general presentation. He comes across like a cool guy. He comes across like a nice guy. I know some people have said things to the contrary. I can only go based on what I've seen in that video. Does come across as a nice guy. That's absolutely fine. And again, the guy can play. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And actually, I have a lot of respect for him, because I'm surprised he actually responded to this. But the way I see it is he just steers into the skid. You know, it's Lucas Mann. He is the kind of guy that posts videos saying Lucas Mann and then puts a subtitle in it saying the greatest technical death metal guitar of our generation. That's Lucas. You know, Lucas loves flirting with controversy, and I absolutely respect that. So I do dig that. Anyway, so let's respond to these comments. Let's see if I can say anything. So B Raz says he played the Godless solo and it was about 50% as clean as the clip, and I'd agree with that. It was pretty messy. He did point out that the clip was pre-recorded. The stream will be uploaded. Beard is getting hardcore. Does the wife approve? It's interesting, David, that you get grief for having a beard. My wife loves the beard. She wants me to have a beard. It's getting to the stage where I want to get rid of a lot of it, mainly the moustache. She wanted me to do the twiddly. Sometimes when I go out, I'll wax my moustache up like this. She really likes that. I find it's now at the length where it doesn't matter what you eat or how careful you are. However you try and put it into your mouth, you end up putting your moustache in your mouth, and that annoys me. So I need to do something about that. Hungry Guitar Student. Did he end up playing the sweep lick or just the way easier legato lick? No, he did play the sweep lick in the video. Definitely played the sweep lick in the video. But you make a good point. Initially, when I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, hang on a minute, you're playing a much easier lick, and more importantly, it's not as clean. Martin says that I think that Jared Dines screwed up so bad on this subject because he couldn't miss out on doing a vid on a popular subject. His lack of guitar knowledge and vocab is now used by Lucas as an argument. I kind of see where you're coming from. I do kind of see where you're coming from. Many people, criticism that's been levied against me during this whole thing is that I'm just trying to talk about things that are popular. And of course, there is partial truth to that. I do need to talk about things that are relevant, but I don't just parrot what other people are saying. I think that I've brought my own twist to this thing. I think that by being confident enough to actually name names, that was a big twist. Being able to actually create videos where I demonstrate inconsistencies in videos, but also the fact that I've been doing videos on this subject for almost 5 years. So Jared has to follow trends because that's what he does for a living, and I don't really begrudge his need to make a living. So fair enough. And ultimately, right, let's not pretend. Jared's made a ton of money from this. Lucas Mann will make a video, has made a video, and he'll make a ton of money from that. Lucas Mann will have sold a shit ton of tickets when Jared talked about that video. Hell, I'm going to see Rings of Saturn in February, right? Just because I want to see it. I want to see how well this goes. So Lucas Mann's even made money from me. So are there really any victims in this? I don't know. But yeah, you raise a fair point. Have I seen Become the Knights video? It's really good. Yes, I have. I'm pinned in the comments for that. You in here, Dad? Me and Mum have been looking for you ever since you left to buy milk when I was 6. So, sorry, Tom. He may be here. Well, I'll keep an eye out. Night 3 in a row, yeah. Lip syncing guitar. Only came here now. Can anyone give me a TLDR? Yeah. I'll read the statement one more time at the end for anyone that has missed out on this. Henry says, and I believe a lot of the accused are actually legit, like Manuel Fernandez shooting at a low frame rate on his phone, so it looks sped up. I need to keep hammering home this point, right? With Manuel Gardner Fernandez and all of these guys, right? They keep responding to this idea of things being sped up, and then people keep talking to me and saying, well, his stuff definitely isn't sped up, man. You're talking to the wrong guy. Like, I've not made the claim that any of these guys are sped up. I genuinely have never made the claim that anyone has sped anything up. I will never make that claim. I will never make a claim that there's not a good reason that I can back up and demonstrate why I feel that way, other than, something just doesn't feel right about the video, you know? So Upside Down says he's literally making the argument against himself by admitting it. You know what? I'm going to read my statement one more time for anyone that has just tuned in. At 7:17 in Lucas's video, he says it's a pre-recorded track. At 7:25, he says it's not my guitar that you're hearing in that video. At 7:58, you can hear all three live guitars. It's from a video camera that's much further back in the audience, so you can hear the sound coming out of the monitors, and you can hear that the two live guitars are nothing close to the pre-recorded harmony, which is still louder than they are, right? Then we take a step back and we ask ourselves, why on earth would the official band page use a clip to promote your tour and sell tickets that, in your own words, is not my guitar that you're hearing in the video? You'll notice that at 9:34, the sound guy talks about there being a sampled line there. So when I make the claim that it's not Lucas playing in the video, as in the thing that you see is not the thing that you hear, I am right, yeah? Again, that was the take that he picked to promote the tour. At 11:34, this is a live clip that you hear of them from the sound desk. The two guitars that aren't pre-recorded are a mess. Again, not bad. They're not bad. And it feels unfair to say mess, but at no point have I ever said that Lucas can't play. But those two live guitar parts are a world away from the clip that he chose to represent his band in a live setting. Look, I would like nothing more than to make a video looking at the clip at 4140, and that's an in-studio DI track of him playing this particular section. But it would be pointless to do so because it would be me comparing him playing to a pre-recorded track, right? And of course, the two won't be close. That would be unfair to him, for me to compare a studio clip to this live pre-recorded track, because one is played and one is a pre-recorded sampled track. So they won't be close. But you shouldn't need me to slow them down to show you that the timing and the dynamics are nothing like what's presented in that live clip that, again, he used to promote the band. So one last time, dude chooses to post a clip to promote his live show where he knows that you can't hear the guitar. You cannot hear the guitar in that. And then is surprised when people respond to it by saying, that's not live guitar. Am I missing something? Thomas Whitaker, I'm not gonna show clips. I would encourage you to go to Lucas's video and watch it. It's just insane that he's had to defend this for years. Wouldn't you be sensitive to these things? Not sure, John. So Andrew T, it's clearly deceptive. Fair point, well made, and thank you. Like, to me, that's the thing that this just screams. It absolutely just screams it. You, Lucas, you have recorded audio. You literally, how have I not thought of this, right? You literally have the soundboard recordings of the gigs in question, okay? You could have quite easily taken the live footage, which it's good footage, it's well shot, it's like in a good position, you can really see what's going on. You could have taken that footage and then superimposed the soundboard audio over the top of it to give people a great representation of what Rings of Saturn are all about live. But you chose not to do that. You chose to post the clip with the audio, which, in your own words, it's not my guitar that you're even hearing in that video. Upside Down says he loves how the sound guy had to wear reflective glasses to make the statement so you couldn't see his eyes. To me, it's less about the reflective glasses and more about the just the design of those glasses. I thought they were hilarious. We've had a shit ton of comments in. Where are we at? Why don't they just own it and go even more over the top on the tracks? I'd be cool with that. You enjoyed the last album? That's fair enough, man. And that's super important. Like, I don't want to shit on any of their recordings. Like, I've enjoyed some of their stuff, actually. In fact, I remember talking about their last music, I assume it was their last video. The last video I saw of theirs, man, it really gave me the heebies. That was a fucking creepy video. So, fair enough. I can sound amazing with some sample tracks, yeah. Andrew, isn't metal divided enough? I get the scam, but the dude can obviously play well. Yeah, Andrew, I agree. And at no point have I ever said that he can't play. At no point have I ever said that. In fact, I've said the polar opposite. Check all his videos. It's edited and the guitar is compressed, but listen to the background. Manuel might not be fake, but it's clearly edited heavily. Okay, we're talking about Manuel. All right. This is about Lucas, so I'm staying on point. This is the guitar playing equivalent to pointing out that all of NASA's images have been faked and edited. I applaud it. That's funny. It's so rough and sloppy compared to the clip. What's your opinion on Stephen Taranto? Personally, I think he's legit. I also think he's legit. I see no reason to not think he's legit. I'm actually focused on transcribing his stuff this month for my Patreon page. My transcription challenge this month is going to be on Taranto's playing. So those guys are all transcribing some of his stuff, and I'm going to transcribe it. I don't see any reason to not think he's legit, not just because nothing about his videos seems illegitimate, but also because I don't know him personally, but I know lots of people personally that do know him, and they've all vouched for him. So, and stuff like that's important, right? So many salty people in the chat. Stephen is legit. Taranto is legit, yeah. If he did a promo video, totally different. He used a live clip to promote it. It's frustrating, much like who I sent you via DM. Yeah, yes. I think it has to do with the fact that people want a show. Same reason people will shell out money to see pop artists. They lip sync. That's one lovely Macho Man shirt. Name and shame. Send. Stephen is a legend. Yep. I don't know why people accuse Taranto, considering how obvious it is that his videos are not edited. Well, MG, I can answer that question for you. It's because what he plays on the instrument is so far beyond the sort of comprehension of what the 80s influence shredder ever considered possible on the instrument. You have that urge to look at it and just say, well, that can't be real. For me personally, right, when I looked at his stuff, there wasn't a single part of me that went, something doesn't look right about this. My first thoughts were, Jesus Christ, Jesus, I cannot comprehend how he's that good. So, yeah. Roxana says, you don't get why going on with videos is necessary, just ask him whatever you want directly. Well, I don't know him personally. So, yeah. Okay, people want me to replay that clip. Sorry, the sound was a bit low. I'll do that again. I'm a professional.
I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that it should be called out, right? For those of you that have been on YouTube a long time, you're probably familiar with arguing as fact. We don't know anymore, and there's nothing wrong with knowing. There's nothing wrong with informing a young person. There's nothing wrong with saying to one of your students, don't be off-put by the fact that all of these guys sound so much better than you ever can. Don't be put off by the fact that you've been practicing for 5 hours a day, every day for the last 10 years, and you are nowhere near as good as they will ever be. It's not your fault. Go out there and be the best you can be. Go out there, compose music, do things that touch people. If you need to speed your videos up to show people what your musical vision is, I absolutely support that. Please, please think of the future generations. Try not to mislead them. Why not help them to do the things that you do by saying, hey guys, this is how I go about achieving these outrageous sounds. This is how I actually produce this video. That would be fascinating, and that would get a bigger pat on the back from me than anything that you can do where you're misrepresenting yourself. I think that's all I have to say on the subject.
There you go. Rings of Saturn pushes the Metal Olympics too far. You really like the last album, fair enough. Who knew Levi was a swinger when he was at uni? That was actually when I was in high school. I'm glad that all this got brought up. Too many fakers out there. I still refuse to believe that Gardner, Manuel, I assume you're talking about, 100% legit, better than me, etc. Yep, fine. Hope this finally brings mainstream attention to the idea of authenticity in metal music. Word. Rings of Saturn is a cool band, regardless if Lucas actually plays it or not. The former drummer came out with a statement after he was kicked out that basically said Joel could play but Lucas couldn't. Oh. That harmony track is very loud. It is very fucking loud, man. Les Paul started all that very speed stuff to great effect. People thought he was superhuman for years. That is true. That is absolutely true. It's kind of weird that people like Troy Grady from Cracking the Code. I was talking to Troy today about Taranto's videos, and he asked my opinion on them, and I said, look, I don't see any reason to think that they aren't legit, but I am focusing on his stuff this month, so I'll give you more of my opinion on that. I'll email you again and give you my thoughts on that when I've spent a lot more time with it. I just find that commenting on whether or not a video has been sped up is a very, very difficult subject, because it's something that's next to impossible to prove. I can prove when a video has been mimed. I can prove when there's a punch in or whatever, because that's what I do. But speeding up, that's... yeah. Lucas Mann's welcome on the Guitar Souls anytime he likes. Okay, JJ O'Hara says, you may be saying that he's faking, but regardless, his tone is genuinely dire, like a 90s chord keyboard sound. Corey, I'm not a Lucas fanboy. I think he can be an asshole, but he's made multiple videos trying to teach you songs, like the Shards of Scorched Flesh tutorial. He obviously can play well. Why the hate? I mean, I feel that I've explained that at length. If somebody would like to explain it to Corey, please do. Those sweeps in the video are hella sloppy. They are. No wonder he used that clip. He 100% can't play it clean at all. Well, he can play it. Yeah, so he can't play it clean. He can play it well. I'll give him that. But nowhere near as clean as the video that he used to promote his tour. That, in his own words, you can't hear any of the guitar in it. Andrew Scott says, my friend knows the touring guitarist for Rings of Saturn. Dude can play all the material legit, but it does not sound as crazy clean as the pre-recorded stuff, obviously, yeah. I think they use pre-recorded tracks just to give people a show, like a pop act, which, yeah, fair enough. Dye my hair silver, I mean, yeah, maybe. Santa of a card. I enjoy that. He was standing when he played it. "58 shots, keep going. We need more people like you. Tell the truth about Instagram players and this fake guitar shit." Well, I want to stress this point. It's not what I do. I work in this industry to help people, right? That's all I do. My career is based on helping people. It's why I have so many supporters over on Patreon. You knew I'd work out a way to get that in there. It's why I sell so many books, because I want to help people. I write books to help people get where they want to be. And more importantly, it's why I make shit tons of free YouTube videos. I put a video up just today. It's a 20-minute video teaching something that I make the assumption there's no one doing on YouTube, and it's a hell of a, it's gonna be hard work for you to work on. So Hungry Guitar Student says, my main criticism of Jared is that he dragged a legit player into the mud, Stephen Taranto. Yeah, and it's a difficult one, right? So Jared, he did do that, and he did retract that and apologise for that. But the problem with any sort of retraction in media is that no one sees it as much as the original story. It's so easy to put, on the front page of a newspaper, John Johnson is a paedophile, and then when you get sued and you have to issue a retraction, you put it, this big on page 27 in the bottom corner. That's just how that works. So I can totally see where you're coming from there. Martin says, that he knows I'm legit in my knowledge. Diz, Nataz, many metal bands have a pre-recorded guitar track that plays along with the live guitars. Many source of that in the info as live sound guy I've toured with. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Really respect my opinion as a transcriber too. You have a level of musical acumen that is much higher than some average YouTube jackass. So for anyone that's just tuned in, my job tonight is I'm transcribing Ichika. I assume that's how you pronounce his name. I just keep butchering everyone's names, don't I? So we're doing this tonight. Let's turn this up a bit. Because that's what the client wants, and it will be spot on, because that's what I do. Stephen Bailey says, I see in Jared Dine's video in 2018 Worldwide Shred video, there is clearly time stretching on the acoustic guitar part, and also Stevie T's part is also time stretched for sure. That's potential, yeah. I think that questioning the work of another is valid. It is a risk to accuse of negligence. If you make a mistake, just say sorry. Yeah, and that's why this is a very difficult one, because I don't know if I'm wrong or not. Like, there's clearly... I wasn't presented with the whole picture. That's my complaint here. I was presented with a video that he used to promote his band, that in his own words, you can't hear the guitar in that video, and it's a pre-recorded track that you can hear, and then is surprised when people like myself are saying, that's not live guitar. So, yeah. Oh, comments. They just keep coming thick and fast. I need to go faster through these. Sergeant Rock says, I don't get why there's any controversy. It's so obvious when a video is doctored up. The chat is absolutely popping tonight, which is awesome. The old bard. Here in Spain, there are plenty of metalcore, deathcore bands which use pre-recorded guitar tracks in the live show along with the players. Quite weird. Ashley Simpson metal version. So Roxana says, just being honest, man, seeing Rings live, you will feel dumb. But I won't, Roxana. I can tell you that categorically that I absolutely will not. Because in Lucas's video, he presents soundboard recordings of the band. He presents those, okay? And again, you may be unfamiliar with who I am and what I do, but I listen to and write music down for a living. That's what I do. My ears are very good at hearing detail in music, okay? So when I hear those clips, my superpower, if you like, is that I hear music in slow motion. So I can hear when things aren't nearly as clean as you would assume that they are. Because again, that's what I do. And I hate doing that argument from authority fallacy, because that's exactly what it is. I know more than the average person when it comes to listening to audio and hearing the detail in it. Much in the same way that a recording engineer is masterful at listening to a recording saying, well, there's a bit of a hump around 500 hertz. The average music fan can't do that. It's something that you learn over time. So when I listened to the clips that Lucas chose to present in that video, the soundboard clips that he chose to present, you've got the main harmony, which is very loud, and then you've got the two live guitars, which are nowhere near as clean as the main harmony. There's also a live video film with a fan's phone. The harmony is much louder than the two guitar players, and the two guitar players, while they are very good, are nowhere near as clean as the harmony. And then in order to promote the tour, this is the point I keep making, in order to promote your tour, the video that you chose to post on your official band page with a link to buy tickets, in your own words, you can't hear the guitar in it. Why would you do that? Why would you possibly do that? Would it possibly be because you're trying to misrepresent what you are capable of? So Michael Miller makes a great point here. That you've seen them, you've also seen far more impressive. I mean, the first band that jumps into my mind for some reason for being really impressive technical stuff live, Heavy Metal Ninjas. I mean, it's more groove orientated, but that band are just pristine live. Davey Wavy, in most cases like this in life, people would say that he is only cheating himself, but unfortunately he's cheating people out of their hard-earned money. I think using pre-recorded track as an ambience is normal. Yeah. I need to filter these comments a bit more, don't I? Matt Taylor asks if I can analyse Arcspire's music at some point. I've still not listened to them, dude. Scott Cassidy from East Kilbride. How's it going, man? I've been in East Kilbride so many times just recently. Yeah, Periphery uses Act Effects, Pro Tools to change effects. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't take issue. Let me be clear on this. I don't take issue with bands that use tracks live for gigs. I actually encourage it. In that clip that I've used of my video twice in this stream now, I'd make that point. Do whatever you need in order to get your musical vision out. I'm fully supportive of that. Fully supportive of that. So if you want to use live tracks, do it. Absolutely fucking do it. Hats off to you. It's hard work to do that and to get it perfect. So, and I think that it does improve the overall impact of the show. I'm never going to be one of those guys that says, unless it's just four guys up there playing, I don't care for it. I would so much rather a band worked on an album with all these musical visions on there that were so far beyond what was capable of playing live. Orchestral parts and all of that. If you need those on tracks, absolutely fucking have them on tracks. My issue here is that Lucas now admits that you can't hear his guitar in that, and yet that was the one that he used, a video of his guitar playing that he used to promote his tour. What do I think about Jared Dine's statements on Lucas Mann? Screenshots he showed on his video. I don't want to interject in personal beef like that. Butcher B has an opinion, but we'll get there. Oh, no, okay, we'll go to it. If you listen to the last part of his video, the warm-up part, he plays very badly. Second fact, I think he can play faster, but in the live video, he doesn't play live, yeah. David. Okay, so here's a perfect example. So. In the past, I've talked about the frustration of people having people's opinions being more valuable depending on who the person is, right? In life, we have this idea that everyone's opinions are valid, and sure, everyone's opinions are valid, but sometimes someone's opinion is worth more than someone else's opinion. For example, if my boiler breaks down, I would much rather, I would more highly rate the opinion of a trained boiler engineer than some random guy on the internet that's never seen my boiler, right? Someone's opinion is worth more in that scenario. David Beebe is a perfect example of somebody whose opinion is worth more than some person that's been to see Rings of Saturn once. So, when David Beebe says, I sat down with Steve Taranto at NAMM and seen the dude in person, he's 100% real deal, God level techers, that means a lot. I like Dustin's comment that Eddie Van Halen is the greatest rhythm rock player ever. I can get on board with that. Cheetos online. All this fake guitar playing stuff reminds me of fake naturals in the bodybuilding community. Sure. Michael Miller. This is such a good comment, and I've wanted to do a video on this one. Right. So, the old video of Michelangelo playing Speed Kills and doing the over and under thing. Right. It is bullshit, but not bullshit. He's not miming, like he is playing the thing he's playing, but it's mostly open string. It's picks a note, picks the open string about 12 times, plays another note, 12 open strings, and it's just that, right? When he breaks it down and tries to show you what he's playing slow, where he's doing like fretted note, open string, fretted note, open string, fretted note, and then he tries to play it fast. It's not even close to that. It's not even fucking close to that. But let's be realistic. When Michelangelo does that, he's doing it for entertainment purposes, right? It's a show thing. It's, it buzzes people up. So I'm fair with that. Upside Down hopes that someone will superimpose the audio from the pit onto the studio monitor clip. Yeah, all bullshit. If you listen to the last part of his video, I just read this. Marcus points out that this is a pre-recorded video. I've tricked you all. Attitude Castle, I'm doing good, man. So you can definitely tell in the video that Lucas's technique isn't great. I mean, that's a really bitchy comment, but I would say that from watching the video that not a single part of me thinks that pre-recorded track that he played was something that he played. Yeah. There's also a long section in his video where he talks about why you can hear pick attacks on every single note in that video, but he's completely negated that by, at 7 minutes 25 when he says that you can't hear my guitar in the clip. Like, that's why you can hear pick every single note picked, because it is literally a guitar that has been recorded pick every note and then just punched pasted together, in my opinion. I know Lucas controls the Rings of Saturn Facebook page, Roxana. I know that he does, because he chose to post that clip where, in his own words, I'll keep saying this, in his own words, you can't hear his guitar in the clip. Why would you post a video showing you playing guitar where you acknowledge that you can't even hear your guitar in the clip, but you can hear something? You can definitely hear something. There's a very, very loud pre-recorded guitar. It's almost like you'd post something like that because you want to give people the impression that the thing that they are seeing and the thing that they are hearing are the same thing. Because it's not like he didn't have access to a clip where you could actually hear his guitar. It's not like he has soundboard recordings that he posted in the video that he just posted, or he had the time to find them then. Oh Jesus, these comments! I love it. I do love it. But Dustin says that you need to focus on feel, not speed or fakers. Or maybe you should tune into my stream for the from the other night where I jammed on a kind of twisted take on a modern jazz blues. I didn't play anything fast for over an hour. That's what I'm interested in. For anyone that knows my playing, they'll know that's all I'm interested in. Austin says, what do I think of his DI tracks at the end of the video? They're a mess. They're a fucking state. Like I said in my response, in my response statement. Where is that? My response statement. Look, I would love nothing more than to make a video looking at that clip of those DI clips, but it would be pointless to do so because I'd be comparing a clip of him playing live that he's acknowledged you can't hear his guitar in, it's a pre-recorded track, to something that he did in the studio. Of course they won't be close. They're two different fucking things. You don't mean, and here's the important thing, you shouldn't need me to slow those DI tracks down for you to hear that the timing and the dynamics are nothing close to the clip that he posted to promote his tour. No, Tony, no. You don't get to say that I think he meant. You don't get to say what you think he meant. Because he was very clear about what he said. He was very, very clear about what he said. He said that the person was standing at the stage and the only sound that you can hear on the stage there, if you are there, is the sound coming out of his personal monitor. And the only thing that he has coming out of his monitor is the harmony track. Okay? And he also, the sound guy also goes on to say that Lucas often doesn't even have his own guitar coming out of his monitors. Okay? So you don't get to say that I seem wrong and that you think he meant, because he wasn't vague. He was very clear about what he meant. Aman, thank you very much for tuning in. Yes, and Mike Herman hits the nail on the head. Cumrag, I love this comment. Let's do this. Imagine being such a jealous loser sitting on stream like a gossiping teen girl about musicians that are so much more accomplished than you, no matter how much you run your mouth. Oh, is that true? Please head on over to Amazon and buy one of my 7 Amazon bestsellers. Or while you're there, why not head to licklibrary.com and buy one of my 14 DVDs? Tens of thousands of products sold around the world. I'm plenty accomplished, thank you very much. What I really like is the fans of this band that are so blindly fanboy about them that they don't take 2 seconds of cursory research to even take a glimpse into the person that they're gonna slay. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of the facts matter, does it? You know, this guy said something nasty about someone I like, so I'm just gonna rip on him. And you've made yourself look stupid, haven't you? James Taylor grew up listening to 80s shred. I don't think anyone used to play along to tracks live. No, they didn't. Everything seemed real and bands sounded different and guitarists didn't try to out-technique each other so much. I mean, they definitely did, but... yeah, man. So I grew up being a Racer X fan. That was what I was really, really into. And listening to like Paul Gilbert and Bruce Bouillet together on the second Racer X album, Second Heat. And then seeing all of the footage, like there's great concerts from around that period. Listening to those two guys play Scarified live, like with the harmony. Oh, beautiful. JJ O'Hara, hold the fuck up. Sound guy says Lucas doesn't even need to hear his guitar in the monitor. That is what he says, yeah. That's utter bollocks. First musician I have ever heard of who doesn't want to hear their own instrument. Fair enough. Sean McBride just wanted to say hi from Edinburgh. And fuck me, I'm up late. Noticed my live stream last night at like 3 or whatever. Your missus must hate you sometimes. We're both pretty lucky. She works later shifts. We both stay in bed till like 11 o'clock in the morning. And she tends to start work at like 2 and work till late. And I work till sort of 4 in the morning doing my stuff. So yeah, unfortunately I've got my own soundproof studio. Like I'm not in the house. This is off my property. The other thing with big productions is that guys use tracks or clicks that are all synced up with video screens and lights and shit. Tracks aren't necessarily read. No, absolutely not. I can transcribe piano, Thomas. It's not something that I like to do. I have enough guitar stuff that I don't generally need to transcribe piano, but I've had someone yesterday wanted me to do some harpsichord, and I'm more than happy to do stuff like that if needs be. Timeless metal classics. I've been complaining about auto-tune for years. It has enabled too many bad singers to make bad songs, and when used like an effect, it sounds stupid as hell. I mean, there's times actually where I really enjoy auto-tune. One of my favourite live concert DVDs is Toto's Falling in Between Live, and it has Bobby Kimball on vocals. Now, Bobby Kimball cannot sing anymore. He simply cannot sing anymore. He's a disaster. So the auto-tune there really helps him be on point. But it's not just him. Every member of the band has auto-tune on their vocals, so it sounds very different to it. It definitely doesn't sound like your classic rock sound. Everything sounds like keyboards, all the backing vocals, and it's not. It's different. It's different, but I like it because it's so polished that it's a different experience. Fraction Dean Land from Arcspire is Savage on guitar. I've had a lot of people talking about them, so I should check them out. Also sat down with Dave Beebe at NAMM. I've found he's a legit cool dude. He absolutely is. Yep. Cat walking on keyboard. The fucking keys to the Lambo. That's a fucking classic. I think that was the first instructional DVD I ever bought. I've got that somewhere. It wasn't even sent out in a case. It's just a disc in an envelope. Shame that musicianship has become a competition rather than the expressive art craft that it's intended to be. Yeah. Tony, so you're saying that what he means is that you can hear Joel's picking. You're telling me that the guy picks so hard on the guitar, he picks the strings so hard that you can hear him from the other side of the stage on a camera phone. When there's a monitor in front of you with a harmony track coming out of it, so loud that it overpowers the live guitars, even when you stand back and can hear the live guitars. Come on, man, come on. How much are you going to contort in order to make this work in your head? It doesn't work. I did watch the whole video, absolutely. That's why when I presented my response, I quote times. So at 7:17 there's a quote, at 7:25 there's a quote, at 7:58 there's a quote, at 9:34 there's a quote, at 11:34 there's a quote. I quote a section at 41:40. I don't quote anything in between because most of that is talking about his conversations with Jared Dines, and I'm not interested in the personal bullshit. Jason, I'm always happy to respond, man, and greetings to you in Ecuador. No worries, David. Laters. I get this, so Ronald Easy, let's go with Ronald Easy. I get this question every single stream I do. Do I have perfect pitch? Is that how I transcribe music? No, I don't have perfect pitch. I have very good relative pitch. What I tend to do when I'm transcribing, if you watch any live videos of me transcribing, I play the thing and then I sing the part and then I write down what I sang, and I find that a lot easier. So, what do I think about new bands and guitar players using always software performances during live sessions? I make the point in that video several times. If that's what you need to do in order to make your music, I'm supportive of that. I'm not actually against that. Comrags back. Only people with an inferior product are worried about what others make. If what you have to contribute is a superior product, it doesn't matter what others put out. What does that even mean? Thomas Whitaker points out that the DI audio that he posted at the end of his video sounded sloppy. It was. Orange, great question. Why am I concerned with this? I'm concerned with this because I know the sheer amount of abuse that I'm going to get tonight on YouTube in the comment section of the video where I drew attention to Lucas's video, and no one deserves that. No one deserves to be attacked. No one deserves online abuse and harassment like that. That's not what I did with Lucas. I've not chased him down. I've not followed him. When he wakes up in the morning, he's not going to have an email from me. When he wakes up in the morning, he's not going to have comments and notifications from me all over all of his videos where I call abuse at him. I'm making this video so people can direct So there's somewhere I can direct people that are going to send me a shit ton of abuse tonight. Cumrag again. Only people at the bottom of the totem pole bicker about frivolous bullshit like this. We're talking about music, not books. You don't even like Rings of Saturn. Oh, and then you show how homophobic you are. Fantastic. Interesting that you would say that, because you are currently here bickering about it, and Lucas has literally made a video bickering about it too, and drawing attention to all of his private drama with Jared Dines. Dude must be at the bottom of the totem pole. Michael Miller. Yeah, okay, I am responding to someone with Jar Jar Binks as their avatar. Probably not the smartest thing to do. You would think that he would play a lot more in a video that would debunk him as a faker, but the few clips that he did play didn't really prove a whole lot, did it? Mike Herman, so much gossip, not enough facts and analysis. Have I not presented enough facts and analysis? Love Rings of Saturn, but good lord, this shit is egregious. Ronald DC, thank you very much. Oh, these fucking comments. I just scroll a little bit and then tons more come up. So Tony, right, you're not a fan of the band. It just seems pretty extreme to try and ruin somebody when you don't know for sure. I don't know about you, Tony, but I don't think I've ever sought to ruin anybody. That's never been my intention. Absolutely never been my intention. My intention has always been to help people, to educate people, to draw people's attention to things. I was right. When you listen to that, when you watch that video, the thing that you see and the thing that you hear are not the same thing. Lucas has admitted that. It's not the guitar that you're hearing in the video, right? He's then got all these explanations for why you can't hear the guitar, which seem absolutely legit. They seem absolutely fine. And then there is footage from further back where you can hear both of the guitars, and they're nowhere near as clean as that pre-recorded harmony. And then you take a step back and you say, well, hang on a minute, why did you use that clip where you can't hear the guitars? Why did you choose that particular clip? Is it because you liked the way the footage looked? Fair enough. Why didn't you sync the audio from the soundboard over the top of it to really show people what you sound like live? We know that you've got it. We know you're capable of doing it. Why didn't you do that? It's almost like you want to misrepresent yourself. Yeah, please do go and check out one of my books. Tom Joy, I do appreciate that what I'm doing here is potentially throwing me back into a very stressful situation. I'm trying to get out in front of it because, like I say, I know I'm going to log on to my emails tomorrow and I'm going to have 100 emails of people calling me all manner of disgusting things. And that can absolutely get you down, but fair enough. How long have I been playing guitar, Philippe? I've been playing guitar for, 16, 17 years. DI audio was definitely very sloppy. Jeremy Krull is online. Little cargo short wearing meme lords. Love it. Sergeant Rock makes a good point. The DI sounded a mess. Levi, in your video earlier about the triads, you mentioned that we just need to know the E, A and C positions. Is it worth practicing the D and G positions? This is a really interesting question, and it actually, if you were having private lessons with me, you'd learn my system that I talk about, the undeniable neck geometry is what I call it. When you learn these triads, what you find is actually it's just one shape that just continues diagonally across the neck. If I play my 8-string guitar, I can play all of these triads without thinking about it because I understand how they all link together. And what you find is when you start on the top, you are in the E, A and C positions, and as you go down in the E position, you gradually transition into the D position. As you start in the C position, you gradually transition into the A position, and as you start in the A position, you'll gradually transition into the G position. Corbyn, this will be online, so don't worry, it's not going away. Why does it have to be so difficult, Carlos? Just go to Joel's Instagram and you'll get what Lucas meant. Dude, the guy had a 44-minute video to explain himself. He explained himself. You shouldn't need to go and search for more sources to try and see what he was trying to say. I love doing the Guitar Souls podcast, man. Cannibal Curd collab with K Machiavelli 2021 when? Sorry, have you not seen it? I mean, Kieran has been on my podcast twice, and we did an Arch Enemy cover together. He did the vocals on a take of Arch Enemy, a parody Arch Enemy song called "We Tell Lies." I can probably play that, yeah. Obviously all no miming there. So yeah, that's Kieran on vocals on that. Zero says that it does make sense considering they don't have stage sound coming out of the cab. Yep, you don't need to then go and say, what Periphery's opinion on why you would do that. I understand that that's what they do. I'm fine with that. So Michael Miller makes another great point. Holy shit, you just heard the DI audio from Lucas. You now feel much better about your playing. Yep. So Mike Herman says, when I said gossip/facts, I meant with a lot of other YouTubers and whatnot. Did see my breakdown of his suite note by note, and it was on point. Thank you very much. Oh, Michael, I come off as a giant douchebag and I'm going to get myself sued, am I? What for? My lawyer is well prepared for stuff like this. Won't be my first, won't be my last. Look at Ben B Music saying that I'm trashing the guy. I'm not trashing the guy at all. Sean, the mayonnaise, the True Temperament Evertune, it's in a case at my father-in-law's. Yeah. All of my guitars, though, I've not put them up on the walls yet. They're all at my father-in-law's still. I need to sort out the studio before they come over here. So. So Roxana still doesn't get it. Still doesn't get it. I don't know how much better I can explain it to you. Lucas clearly stated that depending on where you are, you will hear the band because the PA speakers in the vid were a stage monitor playing the pre-recorded tracks. Yes. So why would you then use that video to promote your tour? Kieran's great. Lucas said in a video that he lost a sponsorship over this entire debate. How do you feel about this? Not saying that you contributed, just interested in your take. How do I feel about that? You know, I've never lost sponsorships over things I've done, but I've lost clients. I've lost business relationships because of things that I've said online. And honestly, when those things have happened to me, I never usually mind because I have to take a step back and look at somebody that isn't willing to support me, isn't willing to stand behind me, and know that, you know, I only ever do the best I can. And I don't need people around me. I don't need to be spending time around people like that. So I have no interest in doing reactions to guitarists, Kyle. What I have interest in is I wanted to be online for 15 minutes, right? So what I have interest in is getting through these damn comments and then going back and transcribing some Ichika. Jerry makes a good point here. If Lucas lost a sponsor, then posting that video was a big mistake, but it was his to make. Was nobody supposed to mention it? And that's my issue, isn't it? Like, you didn't need to post that particular clip, Lucas. You don't get to post a clip where people can't hear your guitar and then be surprised when people say, you see that thing that you're hearing in the video, that's not you playing that. You know, you love courting controversy and then you complain when shit gets kicked up around it. This is the most important thing, Sergeant Rock, that some people are absolutely determined to believe that what they want to believe. It is cognitive dissonance. Gelsoul says, I'm an outsider to this universe, but I'm curious if speed fakery is happening in the drumming world. Haven't really seen anything. Okay, that's a great comment. It's worth pointing out that I'm not talking about speed fakery. I never comment on whether someone speeds stuff up because it's not something that, it's not a position of authority that I can speak from, you know. But I do have to say that there is definitely a scene for this on the drumming scene. I have friends that are drummers, of course, and many of them have reached out to me and said, man, you should take a look at the drumming scene. And then they send me a bunch of videos that they're like, this is absolutely mimed or this is absolutely sped up. You can tell because... and then I look at it and I can't see what they see because I'm not an experienced drummer. I play a bit of drummers, you know, but I'm not an experienced drummer. And I certainly wouldn't have the authority to call out someone on that scene. So, yeah. Roxanne says that video doesn't mean that he can't play live, though. Stupid choice of video to promote. Okay, well, I'm glad we're on the same page. That doesn't mean he can't play. Again, Roxana, I agree with you, right? At no point have I ever said that Lucas Mann can't play. I know that he can play. Julian, I just need to order the sound panels for the walls, and then we're done. We're nearly there. Brian, when you say will you transcribe some VGM in the future, are you talking video game music? Robert, I do a live stream once a month transcribing stuff. That's Patreon supported. I'm going to start maybe doing more of them, maybe once a week, but we'll see. Yeah. Robert Hayes says, maybe in the long run this will be good for everyone involved. Any exposure is good exposure. That I made this point earlier, right? Jared Dines, he got a shit ton of views out of this, which is exactly what he wanted. He got what he wanted. He made money off of the situation. Lucas Mann gets to make a response. Loads of people are going to watch it. He'll make a load of money off of it. Jared Dines talks about Lucas's video. People go and watch Lucas's video. It's a video promoting a tour. People will buy tickets for the tour. I've got a ticket for the tour. I'm going to go and check it out and see what I think of him live. You know, this entire thing has been a money spinner for absolutely everybody, apart from me. Why am I the one sat here not making loads of money on this? So I like this comment. Must suck being Lucas from Chant C. No, dude. Lucas doesn't have it that bad, right? He honestly doesn't have it that bad. Because Lucas has tons of adoring fans. And that's awesome, right? There's a bunch of people in the comment section now that are clearly adoring fans. That's great, right? And the result of that is he doesn't need to engage with these comments online because he's got fans. And the people that really get it hard are going to be me tonight when I wake up tomorrow and I've got 400 comments from people telling me to get raped and posting a link to Lucas's video. Okay, so oh my god, this funny. People are confusing me with Jared about the complaints about him not being able to play. Potentially, yeah, I've never said that Lucas can't play. During this whole fake thing, like I've had way too many people trying to sort of strawman the things that I've said, or at least club me in with things that other people have said. They take issue with me for things that other people have said. I've never said these things. I've never said that Lucas can't play because he can play. Brian Bartworth, big fan of JRPG soundtracks, as most metal fans are. Yeah, me too, man. Oh, Matty K makes a good point here about Rings of Saturn stealing riffs. I remember some Black Guy's channel talking about that. That was definitely interesting. Cannibal Curd, thanks for tuning in, bud. I'm heading off in a second too. Johnny Illuminati T needs to wash his ears out. Lucas can play. That's a fact. That's true. But Lucas can't play that. That's a fact. Corbin makes the perfect point. He is a legit good player, and that's why it's so much more stupid that he did what he did. Jason makes a good point. This will go on forever. I just want it done with, man. That was actually the main point of the stream, right? I was done with this whole fucking fake thing. That's not what my fucking channel does. My channel is about educating people. It's about entertaining people. It's about having a good time. It's about teaching you new things. It's about helping you learn to transcribe. It's about encouraging you to go out there and get better at the things that you want to be better at. That's what my channel does. Look through my videos. You'll see for yourself, right? That is what my channel does. The only reason I ever started talking about this was because I got annoyed that everyone was suddenly talking about this, despite the fact I was talking about it 5 fucking years ago. I want to go back to making positive content where you guys can, learn stuff and have a good time and hang out and we can get to know each other better. Austin Smith. So I'm going to read this comment one last time for people like Austin that there's something wrong with their fucking brains, right? I'm going to read it nice and fucking slow so you can get it through your thick head. At 7:17, Lucas says, it's a pre-recorded track. At 7:25, he says, it's not my guitar that you're hearing in that video. At 7:58, 3 guitars are clearly heard, 2 of which are nothing close to the pre-recorded harmony, which is still louder than they are. Then we take a step back and we ask ourselves, why on earth would the official band page use a clip to promote your tour and sell tickets that, in your own words, it's not my guitar that you're hearing in that video? You'll notice at 9:34 the sound guy talks about it being a sample line. So when I make the claim that it's not Lucas playing in the video, as in the thing that you see is not the same as the thing that you are hearing, I am correct, right? Again, this was the video that he picked to promote the tour. It's not like he didn't have access to the actual audio. He could have used the actual audio. He didn't. He used this because it was perfect audio. It was a perfect representation of what he doesn't do. So look, I'd love nothing more than to make a video talking about the clip at 4140, but it would be pointless to do so because I'd be comparing him playing to a pre-recorded track, and of course it won't be close. You don't need me to slow that track down to show you that the timing, the dynamics are nothing close to the clip that I talked about. So one last time, dude chooses to post a clip to promote his live show where he knows that you can't hear his guitar, and then is surprised when people say, that's not a live guitar. Am I missing something? Ronald Easy, I use a piece of software called Transcribe. If you go on YouTube and you search Levi Clay Transcribe, you'll find a video where I talk about the must-own piece of software for transcribing. It's a great piece of kit. I use it every day for my job, and everyone should check it out. There's a link in the description to that video where you can go and buy it. It's an affiliate link, so when you buy it via that link, I get a bit of money. So it's another great way to support the channel. Lucas is a better guitar player than I'll ever be. You mad? Is he? Okay. Fair enough. I mean, last time I checked, dude goes out and plays his own stuff, whereas I get paid to play stuff for other people. Check Nick's comment. If you're mad about a band using a fan-submitted video to put on their Instagram, and that's all of their socials with links to buy tickets... I lost it. Where did it go? Then I'm ridiculous. Okay, I'm ridiculous. Yeah, no, absolutely fair. Yeah, if you need to post a video of your band on Instagram to promote stuff, it's a shame you only had one video to pick from, though, right? Yeah, it would be... I mean, why on earth would you use one of the other clips where you can hear all 3 the 2 guitar players and the live audio. And the track. Right, that's me caught up with comments. I'm going to log off now. I'm going to go back to work because, again, that's what I do. I work. This is my job. I need to transcribe stuff for people. Steve Bott, very funny. Right, big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. Thank you very much for your support. It's very much appreciated. There's more names that I need to add to that because we've had an influx of new people that have come to learn from the triad video that I just put up, which is awesome. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys in our Facebook group. You can check me out on Patreon for as little as $1. Please do head on over to Amazon, have a look for one of my books. Just search for Levi Clay. You will find 7 books, all well received. Very happy with those. That again, that's what I do. That's what I do. Have a shit ton of people will say that what I do is in poor taste, but very rarely can people say you're wrong. And on this one, it really seems like I was right. Anytime, Brian. So just to, maybe I'll post some of this when it's done, but Ichika, you're next. Looking forward to getting this one done. So, much love, fuckers. And I will catch you at some point soon.